Hello, welcome to episode 2 of the Goety mod playthrough series. Today we'll be trying to get started in rituals and also enchantments. I will hopefully see if I can cover doing enchantments with rituals. I cannot, however, guarantee it will go well because I've never actually done it before. Usually use enchantment fuse or enchanting table or whatever. First things first, we're gonna go like this bottom. Hold on, people. There we go. We might also get a house built sometime today. That would be very So, anyone who is here currently, hopefully everything is going well for them. You can live streamed over at Twitch at the Grape 10, so please check that out if you can, if you'd like to. But yeah, if anyone's here, thank you for stopping by. The only problem this time I have to pause the game or wherever to go check the chat, so it's easier to do. So, last time we got into how to make Fire Breath focus, Fight focus, and how spells work. We got into how to get the curse diffuser and all that good stuff. Today, we're going to be getting all of this stuff done. Now, since I'm probably going to have to clarify how I got these, I just do it in the summarization video I made recently. Dark Postals and Dark Altars are made with Shade Stone, which you get from putting any stone block in the Curse Diffuser. Dark Postals made with 6 Shade Stone slabs and 1 Shade Stone block. Then a Dark Altar makes 1 pedestal, not pedestal. Geez, English. Sorry, I'm tired. That's why I have coffee. But I have 2 Shade Stone, 1 pedestal, 2 Awakened Emerald, go get yourself Dark Altar. You will need a Cursed Cage, to be underneath the Dark Altar for a board. Cursed Cage made with 8 Curse Mill bars, which is made with Curse Mill ingots instead of iron ingots. And to make that, either have a Tome of Roof or Tome of Souls with Soul Energy in it. Have 2 golden ingots, 2 iron ingots, rotten flesh, gunpowder, spirite, and bone. You'll get 4. Not very resource cost, or it is very resource costly, so I would advise it in your computer. If you have one, only takes 1 iron ingot to make that ingot. Now, in order to actually activate the Dark Altar, you will need soul energy to fuel it. To simply use a Tome of Souls or Tome of Roof, whichever one you have, place it below the Dark Altar in the first page there. It will become active, light up green, all that, and that's how you'll know it's available. Depending on what ritual you're doing will depend on how many pedestals you have around, and also what blocks are around it as well. Certain ritual types will require certain environments. For example, let's say you want to do a ritual that involves water. Well, an easier way to do it, have it be underwater. Or the ritual will be done underwater, amongst other things. Now, it's a good eat. And potentially in real life. Do I not have food? That's not good. Oh yeah, it's got. I am going to put this here, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, before we get started, I am going to grab my character something to snack on. That being said, what we are going to do first is showcase how rituals work. So, first ritual we're probably going to do is going to be the Forge ritual. That's going to be one of the easiest. To do this, all we need is 1 cauldron with lava, 2 furnaces or blast furnace, this. Fortunately, this is where all of my resources are going, but it'll be well worth it. One of the more easier ritual setups to do. No matter where or how far it is, I usually just want to make sure there's enough room nearby. Stuff to be done with it. Do I have any of them? I have a lot of. Oh, children. Portrait of lava. Whether it's clear, so you can turn better. And finally, we will need I would use these, but I'll add that later. No idea whether or not this will work, but I am going to hope it will. But having cork installed apparently made a normal or deflate furnace instead of normal furnace. That's not good. Right. Wait, I'll make sure. That will be everything we'll need to get the board ritual setup done. If this does actually count. I don't know if deep plate furnaces will count. I'm hoping they will because they are a furnace. If not, I'll just have to make a more fortunate. Now, having that, we go to craft, tools and equipment. We can now make ourselves the black iron armor, which is a direct upgrade to our iron armor. It's going to be extremely useful. The total we will need 15 iron. Something we do not have, unfortunately. Eleven of which will be earth ingots and 4 which will be normal ingots. So, we're going to go ahead and get these, I'm going to go ahead and get some more iron first, so while it's cooking, we can get the curved iron ingot. That's not good. That's the spider's mother. I am going to attempt to but I have no idea whether or not I'll actually be able to pull it off. Oh yeah, no, the life stealer's gonna kick my ass, 100%. I am going to die. We are going to convert all this iron into curved ingot. Do so, we'll be able to make ourselves our first, I'm gonna move this. We'll add it. yeah. Once we get the, going back, once we get the iron transferred, metal ingot, the next part of the stuff will begin. Out. And we'll need 2 diamonds and 2 letters. One diamond, 4 letters. Which we do not have. Anything I can make letters. Do I have? Please say I do. Son of a bitch. Well, Verb, I know what we're going to do today. Luckily, there's a cow. Is that a cow? Yeah, there's a cow over here. Not sure why I said it like that the first time. Like, is it really a cow? Normally I would like to keep these alive, so I can farm some leather and didn't even drop anything, so grab both of them. There we go. But, you know, just for time to teleport feather, teleport to make things quicker and easier for everyone involved. But yeah, now the first thing we're going to do, make this leather, and all this other good stuff. I believe it. 4 iron. Yep. We now have everything to make ourselves the dark metal, or the, not dark metal, the curved metal armor. So, first thing first, as I mentioned before, you're going to need an anvil, 2 furnaces, whether blast furnace or normal furnace, and a cauldron filled with lava nearby. The ritual needs to be within 16 blocks to allow it to be classified as a forge ritual. Once you have your pedestal set up around your dark altar, you will then need to place a soul storage unit in the cursed cage, whether it's a tome of roots or a tome of souls. You would then, first helmet, or first piece of armor will be to do your helmet. 1 diamond, 2 iron, 2 curved metal, and it will take it was all fancy. And simply place the core item into the middle here. Called catalyst, the catalyst item, like that middle. It will start sucking up soul energy out of whatever you put in your case, and it will start crafting your item. And that is the basic. Yeah, we now have ourselves our first piece of the black iron, not curved metal, the black iron armor. Next is going to be the chest plate, which will require 1 leather, 1 ingot, and 4 personal ingots. I'm just making sure, I have to check over and over to make sure I'm amount in. If you put too many or too much of the wrong item, or too little, it will not work simply. Now, the benefit of having the black iron armor specifically is that it's better than regular iron, but not nearly as good as, say, diamond. It's between iron and diamond in terms of, like, I guess, tier. Do you really want to go that far? Well, that one's good. Now you're going to have the players, or you're going to have to sleep. There's our legging. And finally, we have iron boots. It does not matter what order or where you place the items, as long as they're in a pedestal nearby, it will work. And there we go. That's is the black iron armor set. You get the mod that changes just to make it actually work. The post I've done is like work with the torches. Yeah, the lantern. So now we have the black iron armor set. All spells we cast will now have a discount on souls. Next, we are going to make a focus pouch. Hat. Never mind, we don't even have enough leather. There's dress staff. As much as I'd like to, as mentioned before, focus packs are useful for getting our focus stored into a short, tiny little storage compartment in our inventory that takes up less space while still being accessible by our wand. Now, next, we are going to work on making... Have we made the... No, we haven't. Next, we're to work on making the dark robes and dark hat. We're going to need 4 strings for a lapis. And that will be that. Then we'll need back 4, 5, 6 green, 6 lapis, and have black dye. Enough quitting to look like it. Place that in there, and I'm gonna go have it fill some quid. But yeah. Once we get all of that done, we'll go to make black cloth, or black cloth, dark cloth, whatever it's called. And then that will allow us to make ourselves something. Problem is, with our own there we go, dark rope. Kind of appears underneath the armor, but it's very nasty. I'll have it disabled normally. Or visually at least. Then the dark hat will, I believe, require... Right, we're gonna have to go kill some more stuff. Okay. And I forgot my friggin' soul tome. I left it in the dirt. Didn't even matter because it wouldn't even drop anything. Aside from me. Get this other cow. Another piece of leather. There you go, dark cat. On the bright side, we're able to... Here, also, for anyone that has suggestions, yeah, there's the hat. Pretty weird with the helmet on, but funky. For anyone that has suggestions for what house I should build, please do let me know, either in the comments of the video on YouTube or during stream. I will try my best to keep up with looking at all. Alright, next, now that we have ourselves our lovely little dark robes, we should go into making some, what was it? I think this, trash gloves. Definitely not that. That is super useful though. Forge, definitely can't make that yet. 30 molecule we don't really need. Yeah, probably either... Do we have enough emerald to do that? Does not look like it. That's never gonna go. Do we have access to a village? Also, okay. Well, shit. Guess we're not doing that either. Luckily, can do. Here's a pickaxe. This is a very useful item. It's a direct upgrade for your iron pickaxe. You will need a diamond, crystal ingot, and a pearl for your iron pick, obviously, ectoplasm, and wood. gather those materials. Actually had yep. Oh, yeah. One of the more useful, in my opinion, items you can make this spot. It's a pickaxe that has the same like durability and effectiveness of diamond, I believe. However, anything you mine with it will not only able to reach 3 blocks further, but anything you mine with it immediately gets deposited into your inventory, including the that says here. So stuff no longer just simply drops. So for example, for useful. The only downside to it, it makes weird noises every now and then. Which, I mean, not really a downside, but yeah. You can repair it with a curved metal ingot and an anvil, if you wish to. I don't think I have fire, so I can't make a flame dagger. What I can do, however, grave robber's shovel. Grape robber's shovel, pretty useful early game, as you can actually time we won't be making that because I need iron. God, might have to go on the iron trip here in a second. Definitely can't make the hammer yet. So, well, maybe we might get to the ominous size here soon. Rampaging axe. Fortunately, it's all locked behind nether portals, which we obviously don't have access to yet, but we can get set up now that we have the pickaxe, which functions as a diamond pick. That being said, we should probably work on making... yeah, we'll work on this, because that's something I can't do right now. First, make self iron shovel. Grave robber's shovel is a pretty useful tool, especially during the early game ability. I have that. Grab this, that, bone block, and rock block. Grape robber's shovel, it functions as, well, you know, a diamond shovel, however, it has the additional benefit of giving you random monster drops and loot whenever you mine or harvest any diggable blocks, such as dirt. Go ahead and get it. Grape robber's shovel, pretty nice to have. Actually does a fair bit of damage too, funny enough. Around the same amount as the normal pickaxe. Yeah, if I just start making stuff like this, eventually I should. Yep, as you see it, I get random drops from random mobs. Not anything crazy, but it is useful for stocking up on resources you'll need later on in the ritual, such as rock flesh, bone, iron, stuff like that. While we're at it, we'll also go ahead and make the boat pack. Here I will have to visit the amphitheater, Right. So this bag, place this out that everyone. Someone recently just came into the room for something dumb question. Anywho, we can now access our spells in the focus bag without it using up the first space. And it's just overall nicer little thing to do. The other thing we can do now by back out. We are going to want to make some other utilities. Alright. I want to go to the other side. Yeah, try to make the Omniscience. Omniscience is a very good weapon. Omniscience, very good weapon ad. Requires a lot of logs. A Savage Tooth, which is a bone block. Reviewed on the current computer. And then we'll require Iron Hoe, Diamond, Ingot, and a Hunger Core. The Hunger Core is going to be a bit more tricky because we have to have a different type of element or magic type stuff. And to get that, we are going to need to do the animation setup. Animation setup, fairly simple. We need 15 rails, which more iron, son of a bitch. Right. That's more sculpt shriekers I've heard. Is that the pickaxe, I wonder? That's annoying, because then one of these days I'm going to find an actual sculpt shrieker. Like, ooh, sculpt nearby, I'm going to go grab that Goety stuff, and it's just like, no, you're wrong and stupid, because it was actually your pickaxe. Cool. And I'm going to be upset. And I'm going to get a tummy. How would I get a tummy? I don't know. We'll grab the black as well. I forgot I went and got more iron made. Are you kidding me? Why? Why am I this stupid? Next, we're gonna need 15 ladders. Just gonna move on. Kind of like what happened earlier didn't happen. I don't want to think about it. And of course, freaking pork. No, if you want to make ladders, you gotta use the freaking extra stuff for no reason. Will be for a 15 ladders. And finally, we need a pumpkin. So, guess where we're going? Back to the forest. Hooray! We're to get diddled by the Fae. Now, first thing first, we need to put a pumpkin for the animation ritual setup. Now, luckily, you don't need to remove any of the other ritual setup. It's just you need to have the block present for the ritual type, and it will count that as the correct setup being available. Which means you can just stack multiple ritual type on each other. Certainly broken. Does not mean to set myself on fire like that. Very good idea to figure out actually what am I doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Being stupid. setup, you're able to make yourself an hunger core. Hunger core will be used to make the ominous site. These. And now we have ourselves a site. I will be replacing the yeah, this site does 7.5 attack damage at a 0.6 attack speed. However, it is much faster if you have a MD offhand. And then you can also make yourself, if I can find it, Grape Glove, which we'll try to do at some point. Grape Glove, when equipped, increases the attack speed of your scythe. But yeah, using a scythe over a normal sword is going to be a good idea for gathering soul energy, because killing stuff with the scythe will give you more soul energy than useful. Even further, if you enchant it with Soul Eater. Soul Eater is a special enchantment from Goety that you can apply weapons that increases the amount of souls you get from killing stuff. If you put it on a scythe, which already has an increased soul gain amount of thing, yeah, you'll be farming soul like crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here. That will be all for today because I am getting tired, my back is starting to hurt, and I'm running out of years of content. Hey, that's fun. Anywho, I will see you all later.